I think it was a Ford Festiva, really short car. You know, I'm 6'2", and it looked like I was driving on the back seat of this car. So I got into long-range shooting 20 years ago, and I started with an HK91 rifle. The rifle, was chambered in .308 Winchester, and the accuracy was, 2 to 3 minutes of angle, which really wasn't that great, but it got me shooting at distances. And, I had a local range that would go out to 300 yards, and I shot this rifle for a year or so, and it was really not an optimum rifle for long distance shooting. It had really bad faces for rifle scope. The charging handle was too far back. The scope mounts that were available were pretty bad. The stock was too short. There was not enough cheek height. So, I found that to really make this gun comfortable, I would have to buy, a bunch of accessories off of the PSG-1 rifle, the adjustable stock. The trigger, was really heavy. The recoil was really hard. And, it didn't take long for me to realize, this really wasn't the optimum rifle to be doing long range, but I was just graduated from high school, didn't have a lot of money. And so I looked around quite a lot trying to decide, what rifle should I buy? And at the time, then John Plaster put out a video called The Ultimate Sniper, and it had a Robar SR90 in the video. And so, being new to the long distance sport, then I thought, if he says that Robar SR90 is a good gun, it must be a good gun, right? And so I started to research that rifle and decided, I wanted to buy one of these guns. I think at the time, the rifle was, about $4,500, and I didn't have that money. And so what I ended up doing, I had this Suzuki Esteem vehicle, not the greatest car, but it was worth, just about the same amount of money that I needed to pay for this gun. And I ordered the rifle, sold the car, and found this Ford Fiesta or Festiva. I can't remember the model. I'll put a picture of it up, but I think it was a Ford Festiva, really short car. I'm 6'2", and it looked like I was driving on the back seat of this car whenever I would go anywhere. And at the same time, I was about 18 at the time, and so I sold my car for about $4,500, bought this rifle, and bought an $800 special that was, quite embarrassing to drive around, but I didn't really care. I took this car out, put my rifle in the back, and I was going out in the desert with this car, doing my long distance shooting. And, but at the time, then it was the same period when I asked my wife to marry me. And so I had sold, it was probably within a 30-day period of me buying this new car, that I asked her to marry me, and I was quite embarrassed. I was like, I hope that she is still going to marry me, even though I have this beater car, and that I kind of put all my money into this sniper rifle instead of a vehicle. Anyhow, but luckily that didn't matter to her, so we got married. We're still married today, and at the same time, when I first shot 1,000 yards, then I didn't really know where to do it, and so I got on the internet, and I got on the forum, I think it was snipercountry.com, and I posed the question out there that says, hey, does anyone in the Salt Lake area have a place to shoot 1,000 yards? Because, my local range only goes to 300 yards. And so somebody responded. The gentleman's name was Roy Woodall, and so he's like, meet me in Lehigh at 7 in the morning, and we'll go out and I'll take you to the spot that I shoot 1,000 yards. Now, we didn't really know each other at all, And so we kind of got together at 7 in the morning and we filled each other out, you're not going to kill me, I'm not going to kill you, we're both good guys. And so after talking about 5-10 minutes, and I realized that he was a police officer, which was really cool, so that trust factor, went up a lot. And we just started talking long range shooting, and my really strong interest in getting into long range shooting. And so, we drove about 40 minutes out into the desert. He had a nice spot set up with targets. And, for the first time ever, I shot 1,000 yards. And I think I went out with him every single Saturday to that same spot for the next 6 or 7 years. And we became really awesome friends. And when I started Desert Tech, he was the first model to model the SRS in his SWAT sniper gear, and we're still friends to this day. Since he's moved down to Las Vegas, and I don't get to see him as much, but he's a good guy, and he helped me to get started in the long range game, and I appreciate that.